gorgeous night in Atlanta, Georgia. NFL Network proudly presents the Baltimore Ravens and Atlanta Falcons on Thursday Night Football. The Georgia Dome is amped up as a pair of 6-2 teams square off, the Atlanta Falcons and the Baltimore Ravens. And we'd like to welcome those at Camp Arfjan in Kuwait, the third arm of tonight's national anthem. K.D. Bo.
Join in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Well, Joe Flacco and the Baltimore Ravens getting set to take on the Atlanta Falcons here in Atlanta. Just a short time ago, Alex Flanagan spoke with Ravens head coach John Harbaugh.
Two teams with a lot of similarities. What separates your team?
Well, we'll find out tonight. We're going to play hard. We're going to be physical. It's going to be a hard-fought game. You know, we'll see. We'll find out tonight.
Challenges. Where might you be vulnerable?
We're going to get after this football team. They're going to try to get after us. It's just going to be one of those fights. That's what we're going to try to make it. We're going to try to make it a football fight. That's what we do.
We're excited to watch it.
Thanks, Alex. All right.
Well, the Baltimore Ravens, they got Ed Reed back. He's a big-time playmaker. And guys, you look at these two teams. They're not only both 6-2, but they're both 4-0 at home. And Joe and Matt, they're really mirror images of each other.
Well, when you look at them, you say that they're mirror images, but inside it, I think the Ravens defense probably a little bit tougher. Offensively, you feel like Matt Ryan gets the ball out of his hands just a little bit quicker. I expect Joe Flacco to step up tonight. That's going to be a big thing for the Ravens. They're going to have to take it to another level and give him an opportunity to get the ball out into the hands of the playmakers, go make some plays. And you look at this football game and you say, well, wait a second. The Falcons at home, they're almost unbeatable.
Well, I'm looking at it from a completely different point of view, Joe, and here's what it is. In order for the Atlanta Falcons to have success tonight, it's going to have to come in the ground, and they're going to have to be able to run. Not only, if they can handle a 7-man front, that's a big deal, but they're going to have to run eventually at an 8-man front if they can get the big man rolling. And if they can do that, they'll have great success.
Both of these coaches were hired 3 years ago. Mike Smith spent 5 years as a defensive coordinator with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Won a Super Bowl in 2000 with the Baltimore Ravens. Spent 4 years with the Ravens as a D-line and linebackers coach. John Harbaugh in his third year, 26-14, 10 years under Andy Reid. And the Philadelphia Eagles, 9 years as special teams coordinator. Now the Atlanta Falcons, wearing their retro uniforms from their expansion year in 1966, will receive, and the Ravens will kick off with Billy Cundiff, who leads the NFL with, or second in the NFL with 24 touchbacks. Eric Weems back deep. And make that touchback number 25 as Weems has to take a knee. Let's take a look at the starting offense for the Atlanta Falcons. And one of the key components for them is their center, Todd McClures. He started 128 consecutive games. He makes all the calls up front. When you go to the skill position players, Michael Turner, 694 yards rushing on the season. Roddy White, second in the league with 58 catches, and The all-time leading receiver, tight end, Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez with 37 catches this season. And right out of the gun, shotgun for Matt Ryan. On a 1st and 10. Able to hook up with Tony Gonzalez for his 38th catch of the season. Short gain of 3 on the play.
When you watch this Atlanta team right now, it's imperative for them to get in 3rd and manageable. They need to get to 3rd and 5 or less. Then they feel comfortable running their scheme.
And guys, they're trying to quicken the pace a little bit here as they go muddle huddle. 2nd and 7 from the Falcons 23. Flacco's thrown Ryan's thrown 13 touchdown passes this season. Pursuit from behind, and he gets sacked by Terrell Suggs.
One of the areas that was of a big concern for the Ravens was their secondary. They're starting to get some people back. Fabian Washington is back now. Josh Wilson is starting at the other corner. That was a coverage sack. They do a really nice job in the secondary of not giving Matt Ryan an opportunity to go. They jump the out route. The middle of the field is covered as well. Got nowhere to go to be able to throw the football.
And one of the key conversations yesterday in visiting with the Falcons, stay out of 3rd and long. And that's what they have right here. 3rd and 17. Ryan, Roddy White, 1st down. Out across the 40 to the 41-yard line, a gain of 28.
If they can protect, Roddy White is going to get open. He's a big man. He knows exactly what he's doing. But, Joe, the difference I see with him right now is he's running fantastic routes.
He releases inside. He gets physical and just gets outside. Ed Reed almost looked like he thought he was going to go to the middle one more time. And we know that Ed tends to try and gamble just a little bit. That time it hurt him.
On a 1st and 10, Roddy White again. Out to the 45-yard line. Roddy White in his 6th year out of UAB, a 1st-round draft pick in 2005. You see his ranking since 2008. 231 receptions, 6th most in the NFL. 3,300 receiving yards. Currently 2nd in the league in receptions here in 2010.
And if I ask everybody out there to name their top 5 receivers in the league, they forget him, and that's a big mistake.
Well, the Ravens better not forget him.
Matt Ryan doesn't forget him.
We won't forget him at all.
Opening possession, 2nd and 5. Michael Turner's 1st carry. Not a lot of room as Chris Carr came in from his cornerback position and held it to no gain on the play. Let's take a look at the Ravens defensively. Haloti Ngata will be a beast throughout the course of the night. We'll keep our eye on him. When you take a look at the linebacking core, it starts with 11-time Pro Bowler Ray Lewis. A few shakeups in the secondary tonight with Josh Wilson getting one of the starts at corner along with Chris Carr and Ed Reed. 3 interceptions back in the lineup. 3rd and 5. Falcons converted on a 3rd and 17 earlier in this drive. Ryan, quick release, 1st down. Roddy White working on Ladarius Webb. Gain of 7.
What the Falcons are trying to do in talking to Mike Mularkey, their offensive coordinator, they want to see if they can get the Raider defense a little tired. The Dome is a hot place. You've got a lot of big guys. Haloti Ngata is at 350. Kelly Gregg is at 320. Ray Lewis is at 250. You want to get them going sideline to sideline and get them tired. So far, they've been able to make them run.
A couple of huge 3rd down conversions for the Falcons here on the opening possession of the ballgame. A drive that started at the Atlanta 20. 1st and 10. Ryan again. White again. Webb on the coverage.
He loves that. And that's a quarterback's throw right there. When he knows that he has Webb on the inside, he's going to work that thing all night long. His release has gotten better. It comes out quick, and it's right on time.
I love this stroke. I mean, he sets, looks down the field, turns, the nice tight spiral, turns over perfectly, get it to the outside.
On 2nd down, Michael Turner picks up about a yard. Good pursuit to the football by the defense of the ball. 694 yards rushing on the season, 4.5 yards a carry. Ray Lewis shaken up.
Ray Lewis got drilled by Michael Turner the last time he came on a blitz.
Another third down for the Falcons, 3rd and 5. They hit a 3rd and 17.
You have to think they're going to work the middle of the football field because Ryan's been throwing it outside so much early.
And a 3rd and 5 earlier. Another 3rd and 5. Ryan goes other side. Can't hit Jenkins. Josh Wilson on the coverage. Well, Matt Ryan had a lot of success going to Roddy White. That time he tries Jenkins, and the drive stalls.
The Baltimore Ravens roll their corners up, roll their safeties back in a double coverage defense. That time, Michael Jenkins just couldn't get away and get enough separation.
The dangerous Ed Reed back deep to receive Michael Kanan's punt. End over end action. Reed calls for a fair catch at the 6-yard line. 36-yard punt, no return. We'll get our first look at the offense of the Baltimore Ravens. Falcons and Ravens on NFL Network. A bustling evening in Atlanta. We'll take a look, Matt, back at Ray Lewis getting nicked by Michael Turner.
Well, there's one thing about being a running back and running, and then there's the other thing about blocking. And Michael Turner lowered the boom on Ray Lewis right there.
Right foot injury for Lewis. His return questionable. From the 6. Delay draw. Ray Rice with room. Rice gets 11 on the play. First down, Ravens. Let's take a look at the offense for the Baltimore Ravens. And we'll start with the offensive line. And Marshall Yanda, the right tackle. The center is Matt Burke, a 6-time Pro Bowler in his 13th year out of Harvard. Michael Orr, the left tackle, in his 2nd year out of Mississippi. Ray Rice, 4 yards a carry on the season, a little down from last year. Anquan Bolden and Derek Mason make up the receiving core. 2 seasoned veterans with Todd Heap, 26 catches this season. Another draw for Rice with room on the left. Ray Rice tripped up at the 30-yard line. Brian Williams on the tackle after a gain of 13.
When you watch Joe Flacco on both of those plays, he starts like he's going to throw and then hands off. What they're doing is they're causing the linebackers to get stationary and stagnant. The little play fake, they freeze for a second. It allows all of the linemen as well as the backs to be able to set their blocks and give them the hole. And we know how good a runner he is.
So quickly the Ravens from their own 6 out to the 30, 1st and 10. Flacco under pressure from Abraham, and he throws it away, incomplete.
And that right there is exactly what the Atlanta Falcons have to do to have success. They have to get pressure on Flacco. He has still not demonstrated in his 3rd year, and really I don't know how many quarterbacks are comfortable with it, but he's not real comfortable when he gets pressure at him and gets hits on him.
He's not real fleet of foot, Matt.
You got to knock him down.
That's right, but he's not going to slide. He doesn't have the feet even of a Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, Roethlisberger's a stud now in the pocket.
Oh, yeah, but he doesn't have those feet yet.
2nd and 10 for the Ravens at their own 30. Keep in motion. Rice on the toss. Rice dives ahead to the 35-yard line. Curtis Lofton on the tackle. Well, the Falcons defense gives up defensively 16.5 points per game. John Abraham, 6 sacks on the season. The guy that gets the pressure. The linebacking calls made by middle linebacker Curtis Lofton in his 3rd year out of Oklahoma. Dante Robinson, the key acquisition in the offseason to try to stabilize the secondary for the Falcons, who gave up a lot of big plays in the passing game last year.
And Todd Heap has been their converter of 3rd downs. You work him against the safety, give him a chance to make a play.
3rd and 5, Flacco under pressure, and then he just throws it up for grabs.
There it is again.
Stephen Nicholas nearly had the interception.
That's got to get the pressure, and they're getting it. And they got him inside, and they got a little happy feet, and then that should have been a pick. Nicholas should have come down with a pick right there.
Flacco, I believe, was trying to go to Todd Heap, and this ball gets away from him because Heap's going to come open.
Well, he gets away from him because right here, watch his feet in the pocket. He's getting a little happy in there. He takes off and runs. They're getting pressure. That's exactly what Atlanta has to do.
Jonathan Babineau, the 6th-year pro out of Iowa, got pressure and flushed Flacco out. Sam Cook to punt. Eric Weems from his own 7. Weems slips across the 25 to the 26-yard line. 48-yard punt, 16-yard return. Falcons' 2nd offensive possession coming up next from Atlanta.
the taste of a barbie on the beach this holiday. Come on into Outback and try our special sirloin served with our freshly grilled lobster tails. It's here for a limited time at just $14.95. And purchase $100 in gift cards, get a $20 bonus card free. It's always fresh in the Outback.
I was born like this. You can't decide to be tough on Sunday. We know what we're here to do.
Just do your job.
We need to get the ball, fellas. Win this game for me, man.
Make plays. That's what I do.
Matt, let's go to the chalkboard and look at Atlanta protection.
Well, it's about numbers. That's all it is. So they're going to show 6, bring 5. Atlanta picks it up really well, and Ryan's able to get the ball off. This is the one, Michael Turner. He's responsible for the inside backer. Lewis comes, he lowers the boom, and another completion. If they can keep protecting Joe, they got a shot.
90% of the time in a collision like that, Ray Lewis wins. That was that 10%er.
And Ray Lewis back in the ballgame after missing that one play. 1st and 10 on the Falcons' second offensive possession. Ryan 5 of 6 for 48 yards to this point. Turner, not a lot of room as he takes it out to the 30-yard line, and then DeJuan Landry and the rest of the Ravens come in and shut it down after a gain of 2.
If you look at this Atlanta Falcon offensive line versus the defensive front of the Baltimore Ravens, it's not a very athletic offensive line. It's not very big. Collectively, they're much better than they are individually, and they have to collectively win that battle.
Yeah, they're not going to win a beauty contest, but as a group, they play well.
I don't know too many offensive lines that will, Bob.
When you win, they're all beautiful.
Except my guys. They were gorgeous.
2nd and 8 from the 31. Again, Turner with some room takes on a defender at the 35-yard line and picks up 5 on the play.
Harvey Dahl, number 73, the right guard, does a real nice job of getting around outside and getting the linebacker blocked. And that's all you really need to do. You got to get around outside, block the linebacker. There he is right there. Slide around outside, get the block, and you're able to pick up positive yards. Just locate the linebackers. That's what you need to do if you're a pulling offensive lineman.
3rd and 3 for the Falcons. Pass intended for Harry Douglas, didn't get his head around. Guys, that looked like a good throw.
I guarantee he took too many steps. Matt Ryan was ready for him to come out a full yard earlier than that. If you run a little bit too deep, the quarterback's under a pressure. He's got a clock. You've got to get away. He just got tied up and couldn't get away.
Yeah, the difference was Chris Carr got his hands on him at the line of scrimmage, and that took the timing off.
Ladarius Webb back deep. Ed Reed received the first punt for the Ravens. Webb has returned 1 punt this year for 10 yards. Webb, fair catch at the 19-yard line. 46-yard punt, no return. Joe Flacco and the Ravens, second offensive possession coming up in a scoreless ball game.
Thank you to the men and women of the armed services. You know, what you do for our country is something we couldn't bear doing. You know, we're out there in pads, you know, playing the game of football, and you're out there playing the game of life, you know, putting your life on the line every day for us. So definitely like to say thank you. We appreciate it.
On a 1st and 10 for Ray Rice and the Ravens. LeRon McClain loses about a half yard. Chauncey Davis on the tackle. Well, we want to say thank you to the men and women defending democracy at Camp Arfjan, Kuwait, run by the 3rd Army. The camp is a staging area for Navy and Army Marines and Air Force personnel. Special Branson Dillon from Cleveland, Ohio, leading the men. After a loss of 1, 2nd and 11 for Joe Flacco. Another check down to McClain. Picks his way to the 22 before he's tackled by Mike Peterson and Stevens.
The Atlanta Falcons could live with Joe Flacco throwing to LeRon McClain all night. What they're doing is they're just not giving him a chance to get the ball to Anquan Bolden or Derek Mason yet. Real nice concept defensively by Brian Van Gorder, their defensive coordinator, making him get the ball down underneath.
The Ravens failed on a 3rd and 5 on their first possession. And there is Brian Van Gorder, the defensive coordinator of the Falcons. 3rd and 8 here for the Ravens. Flacco with time, And he's got the first down to the veteran Derek Mason. Gain of 13.
See, Matt, you cannot give them time.
No.
They rush three.
Well, remember what Harbaugh told us at the beginning. He said if they get time, they will dice up this secondary. But watch Mason as he drives Grimes off the ball. And so Grimes, once he sees he starts to get to that back pedal and his shoulders turn, boom, then he comes right back. The ball's right on time. And that's the way it's supposed to look.
That's a 14-year veteran out of Michigan State. Flacco in traffic again to Mason. Grimes on the coverage. You know, you talked about Flacco and some of the indecision. There's the big arm.
And that was suspenseful. I'm telling you, as a quarterback, when you let that one go and you see the defenders close like that, I mean, there's no window. If that ball sneaks through at all, it's a problem. Great coverage by Grimes. Great catch by Mason.
Gain of 7, Ray Rice. And he's going to lose a couple. Loss of 2.
That's just stuffing the lineman at the line of scrimmage. And regardless of who makes a tackle, that defensive front came off the ball. And watch it right here. That is the guy, it's Babineau, 95. He holds the point. And then back on the outside, you got Abraham, who took Heap and stuffed him in the backfield. And then here comes the rest of the boys.
The problem is you got Todd Heap trying to block John Abraham. It's not going to happen.
3rd and 5 for Baltimore. Flacco can't escape for the first down. Babineau grabbed him around the ankles.
Well, Babineau should turn around and kiss the secondary because there was no place to go with the ball. And again, remember what Harbaugh said, if they can get time, well, they're not getting time. And instead, they're getting pressure. Babineau takes care of it because the secondary takes care of the coverage. Nowhere to go.
Sam Cook to punt for the second time. Weems a fair catch inside the 10. 50-yard punt, no return. Well, one of the stories tonight has been pressure on the quarterback. Joe Flacco, nowhere to run. Falcon defense playing tough tonight. World's largest drive-in right here in Atlanta, a staple from Matt Millen when he's in town. Well, the Atlanta Falcons, back-to-back winning seasons, 2006, Michael Vick, legal issues. So they hire Bobby Petrino from the college ranks. Hired, then he quits. 2008, they bring in Mike Smith. They draft Matt Ryan. They sign Michael Turner under the guidance of new general manager Thomas Dimitroff. First time in franchise history. They've had back-to-back winning seasons, trying to make it 3 in a row. Ryan. Four on the play. Well, 51-year-old Mike Smith, 26-14 as head coach. Really a wonderful guy to talk to. He says, I learned a lot from Marvin Lewis when I was with the Ravens as far as delegation. Jack Del Rio taught me how to deal with the players. Brian Billick taught me about organization. And he said, Mike Nolan taught me a lot about how as a coach you can keep learning. After Nolan got fired with the Jets as defensive coordinator, he went to the Ravens as a wide receivers coach, and he picked Mike's brains. How are you guys trying to attack us defensively? Very progressive thinker. Ryan on a second down looking for Jenkins. No flag. Josh Wilson on the coverage.
Now there's that bang 8 that they like to throw. He goes down 12 yards. Matt Ryan will let this ball go just inside the numbers before Michael Jenkins ever gets his head around. But that was really, really tight, close coverage.
One of the things that Matt Ryan has really started to grasp and is getting very good at is his timing throws. And sometimes when he's in the rhythm, and he says timing can beat all coverages. When that foot hits and the ball's out top of the numbers, that's tough to stop.
3rd and 6. Here in the first. Ryan has his first down.
That's a little
Jenkins
thing
on the catch.
That's a little thing, Bob, that Michael Jenkins did that you really appreciate. He knew where the first down line was. What he does, watch, he catches it. He doesn't try and make a move back and spin around. Lean forward, winds up picking 3 more yards up and getting the first down.
Yeah, what's smart by him, Joe, he sees the hole in the zone, finds it, stays there, ball's right on time.
Ryan audibleizing at the line. Play clock down to 5. Harry Douglas in space beats Lewis. Middle of the field to the 35, and it's a gain of 12.
That's just smart football. They spread you all out. The Ravens are still keeping the 2 safeties deep, so you have your defensive and the field spread, and then you just take Harry Douglas and you say, you know what, I'm going to bet on your speed. You go ahead and run to the open spot, and he does it well.
And they don't even block Chris Carr, number 25, coming in Matt's face. They let him make the decision.
Well, offensive coordinator Mike Mularkey said, we've got to start making some big plays. We make one every 5 games. We need to make 5 a game. Douglas makes a big play there with the catch and run. On a 1st and 10, Jason Snelling to the 40, and he picks up 5. Well, quarterback Matt Ryan's in control here early, and he's in control when he's at home. Only 3 quarterbacks since 1950 have posted 17 wins in their first 18 starts of their career. Matt Ryan, Danny White with the Cowboys, and Darryl LaMonica with the Oakland Raiders. So he is very comfortable in the Georgia Dome.
Unfortunately, a couple of those Danny Whites were mine.
Well, I'll show you with the maturity right now of Matt Ryan is how he's in control at the line of scrimmage right here.
Quick decision. Jenkins thrown back by Fabian Washington. It's a gain of 4. Well, Matt Ryan has hit 9 of 12 for 79 yards. The Atlanta Falcons at 6-2, 4-0 at home, trying to defend their home turf against Ray Lewis and the Baltimore Ravens on Thursday Night Football. A look at the nighttime sky with our aerial views of Atlanta, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. The Georgia Dome, home of the Atlanta Falcons, 4-0 on the season, taking on the Baltimore Ravens on Thursday Night Football. Get the last word on all of Sunday's action with NFL Game Day Final. Catch the best highlights, inside commentary, and more. Don't miss NFL Game Day Final Sundays at midnight Eastern, only on NFL Network. I love when, Dion does his 21st and prime, all the highlights. Start the second quarter, 3rd and 1 for the Falcons from their own 44. Snelling and Turner, they give for Snelling. First down. Jason Snelling and a first down.
When you watch Matt Ryan, and I'm not saying he's this guy, but he reminds me of Peyton Manning when he was developing as well.
And Tom Brady.
Very conscientious.
Both of them.
And this is stuff that I love right now. He's a very cerebral kid. He's in control at the line of scrimmage. And he's taking what the defense is doing, and he'll position his players accordingly. Nice.
You look at his eyes. He's looking at what's going on. He hasn't missed a call yet. Every check has been the one he wants.
Safety drop down to going single high.
Yeah, that's Ed Reed. Tony Gonzalez hit by Reed, and he's into Ravens territory after a gain of 7. Let's check in on the sideline with Alex Flanagan. Alex?
Hey, Bob, well, you talked to Falcons GM Thomas Dimitroff speaking about Matt Ryan, and he speaks so highly about how he has taken his time, come into this team, earned respect and credibility of his teammates. He says even though he was a high draft pick, didn't come in thumping his chest.
Well respected as the first down picked up by Snelling. Joe?
I was talking to Mike Mularkey, the offensive coordinator of the Falcons. He said when Matt Ryan was drafted, on the first play, he gets in the huddle, he looks at Roddy White, and he says, this is for you. Get your rear end down the field. I'm throwing it to you. Mike said he got chills. He knew he had the guy he wanted who was in charge.
10th play of the drive coming up for the Falcons. From the 43, can't hook up with Harry Davis.
We're talking about Matt Ryan here and how he's able to control things at the line of scrimmage and how he's gaining control as he goes, but he can't do it without that offensive line. And, we talked a little bit about it earlier, and this group, I said it plays very well collectively. Not a great bunch of athletes, but boy, they think they're pretty good, and right now, they're playing pretty darn well.
Snelling, the tailback. Snelling with some room. Plows his way inside the 40. Kelly Gregg on the tackle.
Yeah, take a good look at this offensive line. Not a particularly handsome group of fellas.
Like I said, most of them aren't.
But, you know, you take a look, they're all around 300. You got, 330 inside with Blaylock. But what they are is they think they're tough guys. They think they can get after you, and they think they're pretty good together. And they're right.
McClure was a 7th-round pick in 1999. Ryan on a 3rd down. Gonzalez, as he's been doing his whole career, 1st down. Reed on the tackle.
Of Matt Ryan's passes, every one except one has gone out to the right, and it is thrown in the perfect spot. Puts a move outside. Ed Reed can't quite close. Talking to Ed Reed last night, he still feels like he's in training camp. And you could see that the legs just couldn't quite get him where he wants.
Roddy White tripped up by Josh Wilson. That'll lose a couple on the play.
Now, you said that right there about Ed Reed, and he talked about that. He said his legs still aren't under him. But on that last coverage, you're going against Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez doesn't run very well anymore, okay? So he's coverable, except within 10 yards. Within that 10-yard framework, Tony Gonzalez can still get open time and time again, and he proved it against All-Pro.
Second and long, under 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Ryan, wide open, Snelling. Takes on Landry, touchdown! 28 yards to Jason Snelling.
And that was a blown coverage. Josh Wilson goes inside with the receiver. Snelling winds up in the flat where there should have been a corner, and he winds up running over Landry, getting in the end zone for the touchdown. Just a flat blown coverage.
So Ray Lewis's Ravens defense watches a 28-yard touchdown pass to the back. Jason Snelling in his 4th year out of Virginia, wide open and determined to run over DeJuan Landry. An extra effort giving the Falcons the lead. Well, the Baltimore Ravens defense gives up a long drive to the Atlanta Falcons. 14 plays, 91 yards, 6:38 off the clock. 28-yard touchdown pass to Jason Snelling, who was wide open.
Yeah, Jason Snelling's a legitimate receiver for them. Had 22 catches, had 1 touchdown before that one. When you look at that play, the Ravens got confused underneath in their matchups. They were man underneath with 2 on top. They lost Snelling, couldn't find him, and then he found the end zone.
David Reed back deep. Michael Kanan with a booming kick, his 12th touchback of the season. So the Baltimore Ravens give up a 91-yard drive. Ray Lewis and the defense eaten up. Ravens need to respond. Welcome back to Atlanta. The Falcons lead the Ravens 7-0. 11:24 to go in quarter number 2. A 91-yard drive by the Falcons. 28-yard touchdown pass to Jason Snelling. Willis McGahee has checked in at tailback for the Ravens. McGahee nowhere to go. Babineau got a hit on him. McGahee keeps his feet and makes something out of nothing. Tremendous 4-yard run for the 8th-year pro out of Miami.
Bob, when people hear a 4-yard run, they say, what's so tremendous about that? When you saw the amount of territory that he covered and the amount of Falcons that he made miss, that's a terrific run.
You know, on top of that, Willis McGahee's having himself a pretty darn good year. He is, to me, he's back all the way. He was a starter, and now he's relegated to backup duty, but he's handling this role fantastic.
And around Dante Stallworth, who was injured in the preseason, takes it out near the 40-yard line, a gain of 15. Had a foot injury in the last preseason game. Sat out the second half of that preseason game. Suspended by the National Football League last year. DUI, person was killed in Miami, and I saw him before the game, and he was pretty fired up, Joe, about getting back out there. And here, they get him in space and let him use his legs.
And let LaRon McClain, that number 33, just get out in front and just get a piece of the linebacker trying to make it in pursuit.
McGahee again, nowhere to go. Chauncey Davis with his 16th tackle of the season. Babineau with good pursuit as well.
Well, Chauncey Davis just coming off the backside, and Babineau inside. Both those guys, 92, 95, both playing very, very well inside. And they're taking it to Grubbs inside and the entire inside of that Raven offensive line. Matt Burke, Chris Chester, the inside three. Babineau getting after him pretty good, along with Davis.
Rice is checked back in at tailback. Flacco to the 45-yard line. TJ Houshmandzadeh, released by Seattle, signed by Baltimore this summer. 10th-year pro out of Oregon State, makes his 12th catch of the season.
TJ's been a little bit vocal about the fact that he doesn't feel like he's been getting an opportunity to make plays. He's getting some tonight. As you mentioned, Bob, his 12th catch, but only one touchdown.
But that was the biggest touchdown. It came to beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. This is the shortest third down attempt for the Ravens tonight. 3rd and 3. Flacco under pressure, gets it away, but incomplete. Davis was there to meet at the quarterback.
You have to be impressed with the speed of this defensive line. And Mike Smith told us yesterday, they're going to roll a lot of guys through. He's looking for a place to go. Now he's looking for a place to escape, but there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide.
And the guy who I'm impressed with right now is Babineau out of Iowa. He's getting a heck of a push on the inside.
Sam Cook to punt. 8:47 to go here in the half. Weems will let it bounce. Great spin as it goes dead at the 3 and down at the 7. 47-yard punt, no return. Joe Flacco under pressure all night. Falcons with a 7-0 lead.
Happy Veterans Day, everybody. This is Specialist Branson Dillon coming to you from Camp Arif John, Kuwait, home of 3rd Army. I'm here with some 3rd Army service members ready for some hard action football. Now, none of this could be possible without the contributions from veterans that came before us. So from all of us here at 3rd Army to the veterans out there watching on television, we salute you.
And we thank you, Special Branson Dillon, and those at Camp Arif John in Kuwait. 4:30 in the morning is when the game started, and they're watching it live on NFL Network in Kuwait. 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Michael Turner gets a yard, and that's it. It's only the 9th run for the Falcons. They've dropped back to pass 18 times, 17 completion, 17 attempts, and look at the Ravens defense. 4 touchdown drives of 90 or more yards allowed this season. That's the most in franchise history. They're giving up 310 yards a game.
But the thing that the Falcons have done in the first part of this football game is they've been able to convert 3rd downs. Whether it was 3rd and long we saw on the first drive or whether it's 3rd and 3, they managed to get it done. They're 5 for 7 so far.
And they hit that big 3rd and 17 on their first crack at it on their first possession. Turner again works his way for another yard. Now, Corey Redding and Kelly Gregg on the tackle.
Now, conversely, the Ravens have not been good on 3rd down. Okay, they've gotten the Falcons in a position where they wanted to. They've wanted to be able to get them into 3rd and long. They've been able to accomplish that a few times, but they've not been able to get pressure on Matt Ryan, and he's taking care of business.
And he gets the ball out of his hands so quick. I love his stroke. I love the way the kid throws the football.
Here's the key right there. That's Haloti Ngata. When he's pushing the inside, that the edge rushers can get there.
Falcons are 3 for 4 on 3rd down attempts between 5 and 8 yards. Ryan Gonzalez. 1st down. Gain of 13.
What you saw was a clinic in receiving from Tony Gonzalez. He gets his hands away from his body. He'll go up and snatch the ball. It's a simple out route. He's going on the safety. It just goes up and gets the ball, takes it away.
Nakamura is exactly where he wants to be, but Gonzalez runs a smart route. Knows the defender has inside position, bends it outside. You're on the same page.
By the way, he still runs a 4.7, he told me.
Yeah, well, that's a 30, not a 40.
He uses his own watch. Jenkins, little wide receiver screen, and nothing there as Ladarius Webb holds it to no gain on the play. You know, we talked about Matt Ryan and the Falcons, and you know, they're using this no huddle. They're keeping the tempo. It feels like the Ravens are constantly off balance here.
And they want to get them tired. I mean, they're big guys over on that side of the ball. We know how stout they have been in the past against the run, although not this year. But you can see every one of them has their hands on their hips, and they're sucking wind right now.
Atlanta running their 31st offensive play. Ryan was looking for Jenkins deep. Jenkins turned it in.
Yeah, that's a misread. And that was just on the cover too. He just hit it.
And you saw Matt Ryan tapped his chest and said, hey, that's me.
Yeah, that was on him.
You know, it's interesting, you know, his utilization now of Tuesdays. He said when I was a rookie, I came in and my head was swimming. Now I come in, get a workout, get in the cold tub, look at some tape, visit with the coaches. They fax me the game plan on Tuesday night. Really growing into the job.
It's fun now.
It's fun. I said to him, they still fax you things? They don't email? He said, well, they're scared someone might, you know, hack into my email and someone will steal the game plan. 3rd and 10. Snelling ain't getting away from Ray Lewis this time.
Ray smelled that one right from the start. And all they did was rush 3 and dropped 8. And Ray, this is where I still think Ray Lewis is as good as any linebacker in the National Football League. You know, watch him. He's right in the middle of that defense, and he sees all, and he can still come downhill. You're not running away from him.
Gain of 4, Ladarius Webb back to return the punt from Michael Kanan. First punt of 36 yards. But it's because he was kicking inside of the 50.
Kicking into the wind.
Sometimes you have to rip it, other times not. Webb nearly lost it. Webb, as flags fly, tackled at the 43-yard line. Several flags come in. 38-yard punt, 5-yard return, scramble for the ball as Webb was going down.
It looked like Donnell Ellerbe hit Nicholas right in the back.
Even Kanan, the punter, got in there.
Yeah, things must be going well if a punter gets involved. And I'll tell you one thing, there's a lot of stuff going on underneath that pile.
And the Falcons think they have the ball. The Falcons believe that they have the ball.
Coy Wire
has it. We haven't gotten a call yet from Ron Winter.
He's in the middle there somewhere too.
And with 4:51 to go in the half, that's our first flag tonight.
And there's 5 of them laying on the field.
And it was an obvious hit in the back. I mean, they saw it and they called it.
This is a difficult conference to have by the officials. You know, Ray Lewis is looking at it, but it's such a difficult conference for the officials to have because everybody's piled up.
All right.
There's the hit right in the back.
Ellerbe with the block in the back. Now Webb loses the handle. That's a fumble. But the officials never signaled as to whose ball it was. Finneran rips it out.
Yeah, that's loose right now all the way.
Here's Ron Winter.
Return. Illegal block in the back. Number 59 of the return team. Penalties decline. Atlanta recovered the fumble. First down.
Credit Brian Finneran, got his hand in there, ripped the ball out, and then Coy Wire is able to come up with it. That's a big turnover.
That was a very good committee meeting by the officials.
Ladarius Webb has it punched out after a scramble. Coy Wire has it. Falcons by 7 in the ball. As we welcome you back to Thursday Night Football on NFL Network, the Falcons with a 7-0 lead over the Baltimore Ravens. First turnover of the ball game. Ladarius Webb fumbling the punt. John Harbaugh, former special teams coordinator with the Philadelphia Eagles. Only team that had not allowed a touchdown drive in his own territory this season. We're going to have to see if they can do it against a red-hot Matt Ryan and the Falcons.
I love this position on the field to take a shot.
They take a shot with Matt Ryan to Roddy White. Why not?
Well, that Roddy White is really easy to like. He's a big kid. I shouldn't say he's a big man.
Big smile.
210 pounds. Comes off the ball. He can be physical. What I love about him, he uses his hands real well. Has very good balance. And I was talking to him, he says, you know, I got that from wrestling in high school. Here's a 2-time state high school champion wrestler. And immediately, I loved it.
Did you challenge him?
No, he probably
you wrestled, didn't you?
Ankle picked me.
You wrestled me, I know that.
Well, those good hands have helped him not drop any passes. The only receiver in the league with 40 or more receptions without a drop. 2nd and 5. Ryan White missed him.
Oh, he's going to hate himself. That's one of those you'll wake up tomorrow morning, Matt, and just absolutely hate yourself.
Well, he got hung up just a little bit almost. Watch this. Watch the route. It's a double route. Oh, he ran right past him.
No.
Yeah, he missed it completely. You're right. He knows it.
Sometimes you see the guy so open, you put that little bit of extra on it, and it just gets away from him. He knows it's his. I mean, the composure that he shows is so mature for a guy that's only played 3 years.
Now we're going to get a whistle and a timeout. Ravens as the Falcons face a 3rd and 5. 4:15 to go in the first half. Matt Ryan and the Falcons trying to capitalize off a Ravens turnover in front. 7-0 on a Jason Snelling touchdown. Back in Atlanta, the Falcons with a 7-0 lead over the Ravens with 4:15 to go in the second quarter. You guys remember 1998, Dirty Bird Shuffle? Jamal Anderson as the Falcons had this Georgia Dome rocking
He did it
on
a
their
lot
way to
better
the
than
Super
you're
Bowl.
doing it right
I'm
now, I
doing
gotta
it
tell you.
great.
I know
Come on,
you
Joe.
are.
He was a good one, boy. That was a tough man to tackle.
Head coach Dan Reeves, his 2nd year as head coach, and they went to the Super Bowl. Ryan on a 3rd and 5. Brian Finneran, first down, working on Webb, gain of 7.
Matt, you know what I'm going to do, Bob? I'm going to, after this game is over, I'm going to get a DVD of Matt Ryan's throws, and I'm going to go home, and I'm going to watch it because it's like watching an artist work. Nose of the ball down, aerodynamically, it's thrown perfectly. Finneran, not a lot of catches, only 12. But seems to come up with the ones you need.
Great route right there. He basketballed him, used his body, got between the defender. Can't beat him.
And 35 plays for the Falcons offensively. And Turner hasn't even gotten going. No gain on the play by Michael Turner. Haloti Ngata and Corey Redding on the tackle. You know, it's amazing. The Falcons on 3rd downs are 5 of 6 between 5 and 8 yards. And it's Matt Ryan looks so comfortable
And it's Matt Ryan.
so decisive.
It's Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I'm taking it a step further. It's that offensive line that's giving him pressure. He's able to get the ball out. They have not collapsed the pocket at all. Nada's got to come up bigger here.
That's because you look like those guys. That's why you're always taking their side.
All starts up front.
I will agree with that, absolutely.
2nd and 10. Ryan with the check down. Obi Moheli with the catch. Picks up 2 on the play. Moheli, a former 4th-round draft pick of the Ravens back in 03.
Matt, what works along with an offensive line blocking like the Falcons line does is if the quarterback gets the ball out of his hands quickly like Matt Ryan is, all of a sudden that offensive line, they have clocks in their own heads. And they know very well when the ball's supposed to come out. And Matt gets it out so quick, so you don't see any pressure in his face. They better be careful if they're bringing pressure.
Ryan over the head of Douglas. Flag, though, comes from the back judge. Wilson was covering Douglas.
Ryan knew where he wanted to go, though. They did bring pressure. He had one-on-one up top.
Illegal contact. Defense number 59. 5-yard penalty and a first down.
Donnell Ellerbe with the penalty.
Working on Gonzalez. And remember, you have 5 yards. You can get the hit. Let him go. He latched on to him, and that's why it got called from the back of the end zone. That's for the backfield judges.
Matt, let me ask you, though. Ellerbe's in a position. if you feel like Gonzalez is going to beat you maybe for a touchdown, do you hold him, you as a linebacker?
Well, you have to know where your help is. You have to know you have somebody on top of you. You get your shot on him, and then you move on.
Automatic first down from the 24. Turner moves the pile to the 21. Picks up 3. DeJuan Landry on the tackle. Well, the Ravens need to pick themselves up and dust themselves off. Falcons are handing it to them right now, up 7-0, threatening for more.
Rich Eisen getting ready for the Sprint halftime show, on which Brett Favre gives as definitive an answer to the question of his playing future as he's given to date. We'll also go over the keys to the game with Marshall and Mooch, only because Deion's going to be occupied during halftime. He goes in the Ring of Honor here. Bob, Matt, Joey T, back to you.
All right, Rich, looking forward to the halftime show. The Falcons have had the ball for 19 minutes and 31 seconds, and they're playing primetime football tonight. Deion's got the red tie. Look at him.
It's great that he's getting honored here. 5 years in Atlanta. I think one of the top 5 greatest players ever to play the game.
2nd and 7 from the 21. Turner, hit by Jarrett Johnson, falls ahead for a couple. Well, with NFL Game Rewind, relive every game from kickoff weekend through today, online and in HD. Sign up now for a limited time free trial offer at NFL.com. Game Rewind. Great way to go back and watch the games. And you can watch Matt Ryan. 25 passes already thrown in the first half, the most in the first half in his career.
I don't care. I told you, I'm getting the DVD.
This down right here is where they've been money in this first half. They have won on 3rd down.
And the Ravens have to try and stop them.
5 of 6 on 3rd downs between 5 and 8. Ryan has some room, slides near the marker. It's going to be close.
He should have gone head first and he'd have been fine, but he slid and they mark it. Ooh, it's really close.
Remember, that line's not official. Ed Reed got shaken up on the play.
Well, what they will do when they mark, when a quarterback slides, what they're going to do is where his bottom hits the ground and where the ball is. You'll see him slide, the ball is in the same spot, and they'll wind up marking it, which I think they got a first down.
Yeah, and Ed comes over the top there. And he comes up limping like you mentioned. But you know what I'm noticing right now? And I don't know if you can see it at home, but there's a couple of little extra things going on after the play.
It's getting dicey down there a little bit.
Looks like that's a good spot, too, by the official. Right up top here, that's very well done.
Guys, what about that forearm that came to the head of Ryan in the slide?
If you're in the pocket,
that happens.
They're going to protect. It's part of football. Please.
I understand that, but when the quarterback goes to a slide, he's giving himself up.
He's already been in the motion of starting the hit as well. It's not like you can stop right in the middle of it.
It's not like freeze frame in the air. Ed's coming through. He's not sure where he's going to be. And yeah, he does hit him in the head.
See, Ed's already started. He's not even going to hit him. I mean, he's just kind of going over the top. That's just part of the game.
I'm just asking.
And it's so hard to change direction. I mean, I'm all for protecting quarterbacks. But at some point, when a quarterback's in the secondary, they have to learn to protect themselves, too.
Right, and that's bang, bang. It's not as if it's a big open space. Reed stays in the ball game.
Well, lost in all that, it's another 3rd down conversion.
And I think what's happening now is that Ron Winter has been buzzed from upstairs, and they want to review the spot. That's a booth review since we're under 2 minutes. We'll check the spot when we return. Falcons driving. Well, it was a 3rd and 5, and Matt Ryan trying to run for a first down. Needed to get to the 14-yard line.
And he did.
Yeah, it looks like he did. And he starts to slide sideways, and the ball comes out. See that? So it's not all the way behind him.
And remember, the ruling on the field is first down. You need definitive evidence to overturn this. This has been ruled a first down for the Falcons.
But what more important than all the rulings, I love what Matt Ryan did. He saw it, he made a definitive move, and he knew he could get the first, and he went and got it. He's been, I mean,
he's run 28 times before this for almost 70 yards.
after review, the ruling on the field stands. It is a first down.
So it was buzzed down from the replay officials, and the ruling on the field stands. First down for the Atlanta Falcons. Ed Reed got shaken up on that run. In the games without Reed, 5 takeaways. In the 3 games in which Ed has played, 6 takeaways. That big, 7 takeaways, excuse me, that big a difference as far as when Ed Reed's in the game. And the Ravens need somebody to make a play right now. Flacco's going to just park it.
Smart.
Excuse me, Ryan's going to just park it.
Well, and they just flooded the inside here. He's just taking away everything with coverage. Now you're going to look inside Roddy White, then you go to Gonzalez. They're running underneath him, and they have somebody over the top. Look for Jenkins on the backside. Nowhere to go. Snelling in the back. Yeah, Snelling, they know exactly where he is.
Second and 10 from the 14.
I'm still looking for Tony Gonzalez down here.
Snelling stood up at the 10. Chris Carr on the tackle after Jarrett Johnson got the first hit.
Same thing again. See what it's tight down there, and all the angles are different when you're throwing down there. And so they're rushing 3 and flooding it with 8 defenders.
And the Falcons will call a timeout, leaving them 1 left. Well, Matt Ryan, 27 attempts already in the first half. He's been brilliant.
He's been on the money with every throw, whether he's falling back a little bit. When he sets and throws, the ball comes out in a nice tight spiral. This one winds up being a touchdown. But the balls to the sides, the third down pickups that he's been able to make, everything has been in a position where it cannot be contested by the defender. 20 for 27. That's like a game when I played for me.
And to go back,
it's a game.
And to go back
yards.
to Matt's point, the offensive line, Joe Flacco, has been under a lot more pressure than Matt Ryan. Third and 6. Ryan trying to find Finneran, could not.
That's one of their favorites. Brian Finneran, 6'5". And Matt throws this one just a little bit high. They like to do this, allow him to just go up and get the ball. Look at how much higher he is. He is way up over Ladarius Webb. So is the ball.
Matt Bryant in to try a 28-yard field goal, 16 of 19 on the season, including a couple of game winners. Kanan to hold, Zelenka the snapper. And Matt Bryant knocks it in from 28 yards out. Falcons by 10, late second. Much has been said about Bill Parcells. Now NFL Network delivers Parcells in his own words in a new documentary. Bill Parcells, Reflections on a Life in Football, debuts Friday, November 19th at 8 Eastern, only on NFL Network.
That's
you guys,
good stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
really
both of you guys
stuff.
played against Bill Parcells' coach teams.
Wow.
2 Super Bowl championships with the Giants, took the Patriots to the Super Bowl, had the Jets within a half of the Super Bowl.
I think Bill Parcells could go in the Hall of Fame as a coach, which he will, or even a personnel director. You take a look at the teams that he has put together, and within 4 years, every one of them is either in the playoffs, in a championship game, or in the Super Bowl. He has so much talent in both aspects of the game. He knows people, and you look where Miami is, for example. Went down there in a short period of time and got it fixed.
That's his strength. Bill Parcells knows people.
Right.
It's the bottom line.
Kanan with the kickoff. Reed will take a knee.
And he can read people. And that has always been his greatest strength. and then he knows the right buttons to push. Because above all else, Bill Parcells' teams are always going to be tough and physical. That's what I loved about him.
Well, speaking of reading people, Matt Ryan has read one of the better defenses in the NFL for over a decade tonight, and the Falcons with a 10-0 lead. Joe, he's making it look easy.
He really is, but he's throwing the ball as well as I've seen a quarterback throw. He's put it exactly where he needs to. There isn't a lot of room where he's thrown the ball, Bob. I mean, there have been a lot of places where he's had to squeeze it in rhythm, and he's done it.
Matt Ryan, 20 of 28, 160 yards and a touchdown. Joe Flacco and the Ravens need to regroup at the half. It's been all Atlanta Falcons. At the end of the first half, the Falcons lead the Ravens by a 10-0 score. Jason Snelling's first quarter touchdown, the difference. Stick around for the Sprint halftime show with Rich Eisen, Marshall Falk, and Steve Mariucci.
The time for bold statements.
Takes on Landry, touchdown!
Time to make a two-fisted claim on postseason play.
He gets sacked by Terrell Suggs.
And the Falcons think they have the ball.
Now is the time.
Well, it's been all Atlanta Falcons in the first half. 10-0 the score, as Matt Ryan has been phenomenal so far in the first half. The time of possession, everything in favor of the Falcons. But guys, as well as they've played, the Ravens are still in this game down only 10.
They are, and you've got to find Anquan Boldin. If you're the Ravens, he's been your leading receiver. You brought him in to make plays for you. You can't wait much longer. I think the first series right now, you have to figure out a way to get him the football.
I completely agree with that. And then also, when they did have success early, they were running Ray Rice. And I think they need to run Ray Rice, find Anquan Boldin, and Heap fits into that discussion somewhere also.
Well, guys, you take a look at the key first half stats, and time of possession, number one. Third downs, they've been phenomenal, 8 of 12. It's the first time the Ravens have ever given up 8 third down conversions in the first half. Let's send it down to Alex Flanagan for more.
Bob, not a lot for John Harbaugh to evaluate offensively in the first half. He obviously said their biggest problem has come on third down conversions. The Falcons, 8 of 12 on their third down conversions, while Baltimore is 1 of 4. Certainly they'll try to change that. Time of possession has just killed the Baltimore Ravens. But Bob, this team is good at making adjustments, as we have seen in the past.
Alex, Anquan Boldin not even targeted for a throw from Joe Flacco in the first half, as Flacco was just 5 of 8. Ray Rice kind of had things going early. 4 carries, 27 yards. A 13-yard run early in the first possession, but Babineau, Abraham, and that defensive front seven of the Falcons have been outstanding. Kane in to kick off with David Reed, the rookie, back deep. And Reed will have to take a knee 8 yards deep.
We talked about Ray Rice running the football. The other part of this equation now is this offensive line had it taken to him by that Atlanta Falcons defensive front. They got after him in the pass game, and they got after him in the run game.
That's why sometimes, sack stats could be a little misleading, because Flacco wasn't sacked once in the first half, but he was under pressure a lot, Joe. No catches for Anquan Boldin. 6.1 receptions per game over his career, the most in NFL history. Not even a ball thrown his way. Flacco under pressure. There's the sack. John Abraham gets his 7th of the season.
They have done a great job on the left side running TEs, tackle ends twist. They can't pick it up front. This one, he just goes inside Michael Orr and just beats him. They're so concerned with the moves between the tackles and the ends, the linemen are just standing there.
Yeah, that's on Orr completely. Orr gave his kick step, he got too much room in between, and he took a quick inside move. The best way to be an outside rusher is to take the inside when you can.
Or the 23rd player taken last year. 2nd and long. And not a lot of room for Rice. John Abraham in his 11th year out of South Carolina. Matt, when we were talking with him yesterday, as soon as he walked in the room, he said, "Hey, John, look like you lost a little weight."
Yeah, and he rededicated, if you want to call it that. But what he did, he went back and he lost some weight, and he got thicker. and he's coming off the ball as good as I've ever seen him.
Ravens on 3rd and 9 plus 0 for 1. They failed on a 3rd and 15 in the first half. Flacco underthrew it, intercepted. Brent Grimes gets his 3rd pick of the season, intended for T.J. Houshmandzadeh. 2nd turnover for the Ravens tonight.
Grimes played it perfectly.
He
Straight cover 2.
Hooks him off. He gets the ball there. You see Grimes? Grimes is absolutely looking, playing this all the way. That was a horrible throw by Joe Flacco.
The Georgia Aquarium, the world's largest aquarium, opened in 1995. The Ravens offense underwater tonight as Flacco gets picked off. 1st and 10, Falcons up 10 from the 39 of Baltimore. Ryan with some late pressure, and he has to get it away, intended for Michael Palmer.
Let's go back to this. Look at Anquan Boldin. First of all, he knows he's got to rally the troops. So he's pulling them all together. And the reason he's going to have to rally them is because that interception was, this is Brent Grimes up on the top. This is a simple base cover 2. He's not threatened underneath, and really, he can play underneath because it's 3rd and 14. He just turned and rolled back inside, played it perfectly, kind of like Shippensburg versus Kutztown interception.
Did you do that game?
Well, Grimes went to Shippensburg, his 3rd pick of the season. 2nd and 10. Ryan off the hands of White.
I'm taking that one off the DVD.
First drop for Roddy White this season.
I would venture to say the way Matt Ryan has been throwing those slants, that Roddy White doesn't get the proper depth. He's a yard short, and by being a yard short, the ball is that much further out in front of him where he has to extend himself because there really isn't pressure. No, that shouldn't be a drop, but you never, it's like errors in baseball. How do they rule them? I would not call that a drop.
3rd and 10. Ryan, Michael Palmer hit by Nakamura and short of the first down. It's a gain of 7.
Now this brings up an interesting decision for Mike Smith. Do you go for it or do you send your field goal unit out? I think he's playing it smart. His defense is playing so well, but he hesitated for a second.
This would be what, a 51-yarder?
51-yarder. Bryant's long this season, 49.
But watching him in warm-ups, he hit it just barely from 55.
Kanan to hold. Zelenka on the snap. He's got it centered. He's got the distance good. From 51.
He'd have made that from 55.
That was where he was.
3 more points on the board. Atlanta Falcons taking it to the Ravens, up by 13. Well, the good news for the Baltimore Ravens, 2 turnovers. They have not allowed a touchdown, and they have not allowed a touchdown yet this season when their offense turns the ball over, and they've kept the score manageable. It's 13-0 Falcons. Anquan Boldin still shut out.
Bob, it's only manageable if you can find some offense. The last decision that Joe Flacco made, he looked like he made his mind up. He was going to try and throw it outside and 3rd down and 14 into double coverage. And when you make your mind up, nothing good happens.
But you know how a game can just sometimes flip, you know, with one big play. Maybe somebody trips and you make a big play.
2 scores and it's 14-13. I understand it. Their defense is doing the job, but their offense is going to have to find the ball. They have to get it to Anquan.
Kanan, line and kick. Reed from the 3. The rookie out of Utah keeps his feet out to the 36-yard line. Brent Grimes on the tackle, 33-yard return. Well, a couple of turnovers late in the first half. Ladarius Webb on a punt return, recovered by Coy Wire. That set up a field goal to make it 10-0. And then Joe Flacco with a bad decision. Brent Grimes with the pick. Another Matt Bryant field goal. So the Falcons have gotten 6 points off the 2 turnovers. But now let's see if Joe Flacco could stabilize them.
This is the drive that they have to get something going. This is where you can capture back some momentum offensively.
Bolden in motion. Ray Rice gets about 8. Lofton on the tackle.
Now this is smart to me. You're Cam Cameron, you're the offensive coordinator. Let's go back and hand the ball to Ray Rice. Let's settle down here and let's go establish one thing. And on that, they were going to run inside the tackle, but Abraham took the hard inside move again, and he quickly bounced it outside and sets up 2nd and 2.
Jody, you just run it again, try to get a first down and stay positive?
Absolutely. You got to get those offensive linemen lathered up again.
Keep in motion. Rice with a first down takes on Dante Robinson into Falcons territory, a gain of 8.
What they're doing right now is they're going to, by running the football, they're going to allow Joe Flacco to get back into what he did very well coming into this game. They're 6 and 2 because their passing game is based to a large degree, a third of it comes out of play action. You see that 32.3%, highest in the NFL, and tonight he hasn't thrown one. This gives them an opportunity to be able to start to do that. The protection will be better and the routes will be more open for them.
And none tonight. First time Baltimore's in Atlanta territory this evening. They feed Rice, keeps his feet, and gets a yard. And that's it.
The Baltimore Ravens are a run-left football team. They will not get many yards running right. You run behind Michael Orr, you run behind Ben Grubbs. Running right, can't get it done.
And then William Moore comes up from his safety spot with the fill.
Well, and Babineau takes a hard inside move to force that whole thing back outside. But when they're having success, Joe, they're running at the defensive ends of the Atlanta Falcons. That's when they have success.
Bolden in motion, 2nd and 9. Little play action this time. Flacco airing it deep. Had Mason but couldn't find him. Grimes a little late on the coverage.
And that time managed the pocket brilliantly.
And that's one of those times, Matt, where we talk about you don't have to get a sack, but all you need to do is make the quarterback get off his rhythm and his timing. As he makes this fake, right now he wants to step up and throw the ball, but now he has to take a couple more steps. Mason gets on top, the ball should be in the air. It's too late, and he has to try and muscle it down the field.
That was a good route by Mason, too, to see how he bent it back out to get the separation and then come back in.
You can do it with play-action passing.
Georgia Dome in full throat on this 3rd and 9. Flacco's going to run it and get the first down to the 35-yard line, a pickup of 13.
I like that by Flacco.
Do whatever you have to do.
And be definitive, and he did it. And he saw it, and he knew exactly what he had to do. And then he also knew a bomb was coming, so he got down as quick as he could.
Low bridge, look out.
Right under William Moore. Longest run of the season for Flacco.
And now they're threatening. Now you're in Falcon territory. Let's see if they don't continue to pound the football, draw those guys up, and then play action again.
Run left.
Little reverse, Dante Stallworth. Inside the 20, hit by Moore. And tackled at the 16, gain of 19. So despite everything going Atlanta's way, Baltimore with a little momentum now.
Well, we talked about them running left, go left. All right, what happens? You start and get the flow of the defense completely, and then you come back.
Man, that's just a well-conceived play and a good call by Cam Cameron.
They had about the same amount of yards the one they ran in the first half. It's the way to keep the Falcons linebackers at home.
Ray Rice heading to the Ravens locker room. McGahee in a tailback. Screen. McGahee hit by Davis, and then Walker gobbles him up. Boy, Matt, Walker had that thing read from the start.
Yeah, read it really well, and it tried that fake left, then come to the right side. But Walker, you know what, this defensive line has really played well tonight. Babineau's had himself a good game. Abraham, Walker sees it, gets right back out there, and even though he doesn't make the initial tackle, he forces everything back inside and makes the play.
Brian Van Gorder in his 4th year with the Falcons as the defensive coordinator. Loss of 4, 2nd and 14 for Baltimore. Middle of the field, Todd Heap inside the 10 to the 7-yard line.
Now this is where the nightmare has begun for the Baltimore Ravens. They had a real problem last week. They wound up backing up and backing up. They have not been very successful inside the 10-yard line.
Heap was a yard short of the first down.
On their last 6 drives, they haven't gotten a touchdown.
McClain and McGahee in an eye set. McClain, extra effort, gets the first down inside the 5. Well, the new NFL.com mobile apps are here. No matter where you are, you can track scores, set fantasy lineups, and get highlights of your team's big plays. Go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more.
And true to form, they ran to the left side, trusted Orr, trusted Grubbs.
You close your eyes.
Got behind him and powered through it.
Close your eyes, because that's where they're going to go.
1st and goal for the Ravens. Flacco to throw. Bolden. Touchdown, Baltimore. First catch of the night for Anquan Bolden, his 6th touchdown catch of the season.
It's just like last week. They didn't go to him until the 4th quarter, but he's money. He's absolute money. This is a well-thrown ball. It's flat, and he lets Anquan go up and get it.
And Grimes misjudged the throw. He was in position to be able to defend it, but this whole drive was made possible by the running game.
Mistimed jump, you're right. Mistimed jump by Grimes.
Billy Cundiff for the extra point, and Cundiff knocks it through to cap off a 10-play, 65-yard drive that used 6 minutes and 1 second. Anquan Bolden with his first catch of the night. Joe Flacco, his 13th touchdown pass of the season. Ravens within 6. Back in Atlanta, a 10-play, 65-yard drive, a good kickoff return to get the ball out to the 35, and then Baltimore did what they do best. They ran the ball.
And that's exactly what we said they had to do. They had to go back and get their feet back under them. They kind of got out of sorts a little bit, and then so they settled the quarterback down. You settle your offensive line down. So on a 65-yard drive, 51 of them are on the ground. That's the way they perform best.
You have to stay true to your personality. We know who the Ravens are. Their running game, it helps out a lot there, but it helps Joe Flacco tremendously in 2 ways. One, protection, the other to see the field.
Cundiff with the kickoff. Weems will have to take a knee, so another touchback for Billy Cundiff. Well, Anquan Bolden with his first catch of the night. It goes for a touchdown. Baltimore Ravens right back in this one, down 6. Great look at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia. NFL Network's Thursday Night Football. Falcons lead the Ravens 13-7. While we were away, Baltimore was offside on the last kickoff, so they will have to re-kick from back at their own 25-yard line. Let's look at Mike Smith, John Harbaugh, the 2 head coaches. Ray Rice went to the locker room. McGahee got some of the carries on that last series. He's back to the Ravens bench. Eric Weems back deep for the Falcons, averaging 25 yards a return this season. So Billy Cundiff has the touchback taken off the board, and he'll re-kick. Good high kick, sending Weems 3 yards deep. Gets a lane to the 25 and tackled by DeJuan Landry at the 30-yard line. So Roddy White and the Falcons offense back out on the field. Tonight's aerial coverage is presented by Southwest Airlines.
So a 5-yard penalty turns into an 11-yard gain.
Good move by the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can do that math. I can handle that.
Lodi Nada on the sideline. Now, one of the things that's been impressive also for Matt Ryan is the pace at which he's gone.
Michael Turner finds a crease along the left side and picks up about 8.
Prior to that handoff to Michael Turner, he had 10 rushes for 19 yards. His longest was 4. So now the Falcons are going to start to get a little bit of pounding going with their big guy.
Well, they take Lodi Nada out of there. They come up to the line of scrimmage and they go quick count. You know, it's one of the things you don't see in this league a lot anymore across the board is the variation in counts. And when, you know, the quarterback, when they go quick count and then slow things down and then bang it again, it gets you off guard.
Turner again near the first down, but he's going to be short. One of the things that Atlanta has done is they brought in Will Svitek as a tackle eligible for an extra offensive lineman in that too tight look.
That should be an indicator that they want to run the football, I would think. Wouldn't you?
Hot tip. No, absolutely it is.
I have an eye for the obvious.
Well, here's the obvious. Nada back in.
Svitek goes out. Atlanta hit their only 3rd and 1 back in the first half. Haley has the first down out to the 42-yard line. So they go power football left.
What impresses me about the Atlanta Falcons, on 2 third and short situations, the ball carrier knew how far he had to go. He didn't try and run high, didn't try and bounce it outside. In the first half, we saw Michael Jenkins make a catch, knew he needed 3 yards, didn't try and jump around, lowered himself and got the first down. It doesn't seem like a lot when you watch it, but boy, they picked up 3 first downs by just being smart.
First and 10. And Turner gets about 1 yard. Lodi Nada on the tackle.
What an impressive guy Nada is. I mean, he's a big man, 325 pounds, 6'4", but he can run and he's athletic and he has good leverage. He bends well. He's all the attributes you look for in a great athlete, but he's a big, great athlete.
4 straight rushes to start the drive for the Falcons. As Matt Ryan audibilizes Baltimore. Got the Ravens wondering what that is.
I can tell you it's a pass.
Roddy White at midfield. Josh Wilson tackles him about 3 yards short of the sticks. Gain of 7.
Across the National Football League, you see a lot of quarterbacks throw balls to the guys that are covered. What you see from the Atlanta Falcons is Matt Ryan is throwing to where receivers can get open. He's throwing them open, whether it's an out ball, whether it's an in ball. He's giving them a chance to make a play, catch it, and do something with it.
And he's spreading the field like right here, so you can see defensively what you're going to be given.
It's 22 of 32 for 173 yards. 3rd and 2. Good protection. Now under pressure, he's going to get sacked. Terrell Suggs, 2nd of the game.
There's a case we were talking about, Matt. The offensive line gave him enough time to get the ball out. The coverage didn't allow him to.
Yeah, and they went 5 under. You can see everybody underneath, and they try to counter it with running a crossing routes. And the crossing routes still take time, particularly against the 5 underneath coverage.
After a loss of 4, Michael Kanan in to punt. And Reed goes back deep for Baltimore. Returnable for Reed from the 16. Hit from behind and tackled at the 26-yard line. Antone Smith on the tackle after a 40-yard punt. Ravens back on offense, down by 6. Ravens' last drive got them on the road to recovery, and now they have the football back, down by only 6. 2:40 to go here in the 3rd. two tights. LaRon McClain, the tailback. Flacco just kind of heaved it in space. Intended for Bolden, incomplete. Well, in the last drive, the Ravens went back to their core. 51 of the 65 yards on the ground. Dante Stallworth with a reverse. Joe Flacco runs for 13, and then he hits Anquan Bolden for the first time tonight. 5-yard touchdown pass. And after a horrible first half, the Ravens with the football down by only 6. Ray Rice is checked back in. Bolden with a first down across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Grimes slipped. Bolden made him pay. Gain of 16.
And how good is Anquan Bolden?
Let me tell you, he snags a fastball right there. Joe Flacco sets and goes. He knows exactly where he's going right from the get-go. He quickly gets his head around on Grimes and makes the play.
You know what I loved about him? And Ray Lewis is fired up because it's the same type of player.
Flacco again looking for Bolden into double coverage. Grimes and Moore on the coverage.
Joe Flacco is not as effective as a drop-back quarterback as he is on play action. I know we showed the percentage there, but it just doesn't give people a chance to get open enough for him. Grimes has done a heck of a job, by the way.
Grimes has played a heck of a game here tonight.
He really has. The next guy they have to think about getting involved is Todd Heap. Now that you got Anquan Bolden involved, next one should be Todd Heap.
Bolden taking a breather. Dante Stallworth in motion. Flacco got hit. He had Heap wide open, but Croy Bierman put a hit on Flacco.
They wanted to go to Heap, and they beat him up at the line of scrimmage first, but then Croy Bierman, 71. This guy is just pure relentless.
Michael Orr looks lost a little bit, Matt.
Well, they ran a stunt on him out there, and he got caught in it.
They've been running stunts, and they have not been able to pick it up. You would think that Grubbs and Orr would be able to make the adjustments, but they haven't.
Yeah, the other half, you're right. The other half of that part, like you said, is Grubbs.
3rd and 10 blitz. Flacco. Houshmandzadeh can't reel it in.
Threw it behind him. He felt the pressure off the right side, and he threw it behind him.
Joe, that's kind of been the difference here tonight, too. I mean, you know, Ryan has been on point. Flacco off just a little bit. That's open for a 3rd and 10.
Truthfully, Bob, the difference has been pressure. Joe Flacco has never been able to get comfortable. Matt Ryan looks comfortable all the time.
Sam Cook on the punt. Weems a fair catch. Back at the 10. 48-yard punt. No return. Now we have a flag on the play. We'll check with Ron Winter in the call. That's in that land of illegal block in the back.
Of course. It's a kick, isn't it?
Illegal block in the back.
Face mask.
Face mask. That's a rarity on a punter.
During the kick, personal foul, grasping the face mask, number 11 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot on a first down.
Marcus Smith, one of their core special teams players, called for the face mask. Matt Ryan, 22 of 32, playing a mean quarterback, but we showed him a little film from his younger days, and it wasn't always about quarterbacking for Matt. Played a little tight end in Pee Wee football. Pretty mean tight end, too. So the Falcons will start from their own 25. Ryan has a first down, a Michael Jenkins gain of 11. So we showed the film to Matt of his days as a youth football player, and you know, he got a real kick out of it.
No, he loved it. And he loved it. Thought he was a better tight end.
We all think we were better at something other than playing quarterback.
I've always been good at eating. That's about it.
And you know what? You haven't changed at all in all the years I've known you. You're still very good at that.
Thank you.
I noticed that at lunch the other day.
Roddy White motion. Turner gets a couple. All right, let's take a look at Ryan as a tight end watching.
Matt Ryan, I'm number 81, and I play tight end and defensive end.
Matt Helms dropping back, throws it to me, 81. Where did you guys get this? This is impressive. I look pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. I look pretty good.
Well, he's got a pretty good tight end at Tony Gonzalez. I think he's happy at quarterback right
He did look pretty good.
He better be careful. Matt Helms may take his job.
Might take my job with that play-by-play he did.
Where is Matt Helms
Pretty
now?
good.
Exactly.
2nd and 7. Turner stood up and dropped by Terrence Cody, the rookie out of Alabama, drafted in the 2nd round. And that should be the final play of quarter number 3. Well, Matt Ryan and the Falcons jumped out to a quick 13-0 lead. Baltimore trying to fight back in this matchup between a pair of 6-2 teams. 15 minutes to decide it on Thursday Night Football. Get set for the start of the 4th quarter in Atlanta. So glad you can join us on Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. The Falcons in front 13-7, facing a 3rd down here, in which they are 6 of 8 on 3rd down attempts between 5 and 8 yards. 3rd and 4 here. They've been very efficient on their thirds. Ryan under pressure. Ryan, Finneran, 1st down.
That's all Matt Ryan. They had coverage. They took away his first read. He pulled it down, got pressure, bounced out, and then eyes were down the field.
He knew that time. He knew that time he wasn't going to run. Remember earlier, Matt, when he took off and decided he was going to be decisive? Now all he's doing is buying time. But give Brian Finneran a lot of credit for giving him a chance to be able to go somewhere with the football. Art Monk was my security blanket when I played. Whenever I got in trouble, he would find me.
Finneran, who's battled back from several knee injuries in his 10th year out of Villanova. 1st and 10 from midfield. Ryan, middle of the field. Roddy White holds on after a hit from Ed Reed. Another 1st down.
Boy, Ed Reed was tracking him all the way across the field.
And Ed's down.
2 Ravens are down.
And 1 Falcon still standing.
Ed Reed and Josh Wilson need some help. Roddy White knew he was getting hit. Holds on for a 1st down, Falcons. The Fountain of Rings in Centennial Olympic Park. Roddy White takes a hit from Ed Reed and Josh Wilson on that big play over the middle.
Yeah, Ed Reed tracked it from the middle of the field. What's impressive about that hit, he went to get the hit, but then he also tried to jar the ball out. He tried to put his head on the ball.
Tell you what's impressive, him holding on to it.
Yeah.
And Josh Wilson got shaken up. He's out. Fabian Washington in. Ryan with time. Gonzalez could not reel it in at the 23-yard line.
Now there's something that's very rare. Tony Gonzalez allowing the ball to get into his body. He is a hands catcher. Everything he does, the ball is caught away from his body. This one here, he's moving and he lets it get to his body and goes right through. I would venture to say that will be the last time you'll see him use that body.
You know, Tony's really trimmed his weight down.
Yeah.
He takes great care of himself. That is a pure pro.
In his 14th year out of California.
And wants to play another one.
2nd and 10. Bryant goes through his progressions and realizes that the best thing to do is throw it out of bounds. Well, Tony Gonzalez in his 14th year out of California, the all-time leading receiver at the tight end position, over 1,000 catches, 1,040, 12,000 yards, 85 receiving touchdowns. Marvelous career, 12 years in Kansas City, now in his second year in Atlanta. He's been such a key component. Ozzie Newsome, one of the great tight ends of all time.
Yeah, and he reminds me of Ozzie Newsome because he doesn't play inside, he plays outside, and he's a pass receiver, and that's what Ozzie was.
3rd and 10. Snelling with a flag on the play. Dropped 2 yards short of the first down. Gain of 8.
In all likelihood, they're going to call offensive lineman downfield because Matt had to double clutch to get the screen off. It was an inside screen, and they're just not going to let the offensive lineman run that far. That's what I believe it is.
Personal foul. Grasping the face mask. Defense number 55.
I think it's going to be a face mask.
And a first down.
Now that I've thought about it, I agree with you.
And another 3rd down conversion, this time by penalty. Yeah, who's got who right
Snelling
there?
had Suggs face
Suggs had his and Snelling had his.
Well, that is... you defensive guys never get a call.
Ever. It always goes against us.
Oh, no, that's not true.
This is an offensive league, and I'm offended.
You're offended by that call.
It's not just become that overnight, you know.
So that gives the Falcons a first down in the red zone at the 13, up 6. Ryan pressured from Suggs. Snelling hit by Lewis inside the 10.
Great play by Matt Ryan. Great pocket presence. I love to see that.
Knows where everybody is. You know your formation. From the quarterback position, everything you do is a snapshot in a picture. He wants to go right. He wants to go up top. He doesn't have it to Roddy White, pulls it down out of the corner of his eye. He finds Snelling.
But Suggs got tuned up now. Suggs gotten pressure the last few series. He felt Suggs jumped up top in that pocket and made a play.
But their best pass rusher tonight on the sideline on a 2nd and 2 from the 5. Turner fighting for the first down. He'll be about a half-yard short. Ray Lewis on the tackle.
This is an impressive drive by the Falcons because it's a one-score game. They have to get points put up on the board, and they know it. And they have just, on 3rd down, converted again. 3rd down has been the story of this game for the Atlanta Falcons.
2 for 2 on their 3rd and 1s.
This would be a perfect opportunity because you are 2 for 2, because you've run the ball so effectively. It's an excellent spot to be able to run play action.
And hit the tight end to Gonzalez. Mike Mularkey, being a former tight end, knows that.
Mike Smith lets the play clock though go down to 1, and he's going to use his first time out with 11:39 to go, and his team facing a 3rd and 1. Matt Ryan's been in control. Falcons trying to add to a 6-point lead. Well, Mike Smith is always positive. He was signaling to Ron Winter. Did he want a measurement? Timeout? Didn't get the measurement, so 3rd and inches inside the 4. Ryan White, touchdown Falcons. Roddy White's 6th touchdown catch of the season. 9 catches tonight for 74 yards, and Atlanta pushes the lead back up to 12 with the extra point pending.
Little sprint right option variation.
75-yard drive. Matt Bryant with the extra point. On a 3rd and inches, put it in Matt Ryan's hands, and why not throw it to Roddy White? Usually good things. Mike Smith loving it. Touchdown Falcons. Roddy White. Yeah, he hit the 3, make it 7 with a touchdown catch from Matt Ryan, capping off a 75-yard drive, and Atlanta has pushed the lead out to 20-7 with 11:34 to go in the ball game. David Reed to receive the kickoff from Michael Kanan. Reed from the 6. Tripped up at the 24-yard line. Matt, take us through the chalkboard.
Yeah, let's take a little bit of a look at pressure and what's been going on tonight. Watch John Abraham. This is Michael Orr, 74. He's all by himself, no help to the inside. He gets too much of a kick and gives Abraham a two-way go. You give that to him, he's going to take it. This is a Tex, okay? First, the tackle comes in outside, and then the end comes around, and all it's designed to do is to put pressure on that tackle and make him have to take a different step, and that allows the end to come back inside, pressure in the face, and that's been successful here tonight with these Falcons.
From the 25, Flacco. And Dixon with the catch for 5. Guys, one of the things that the Falcons have done very well is protect leads in the fourth quarter, especially here at home. You know, Mike Smith, their head coach, is a very progressive thinker, and what he decided to do in training camp was put heart monitors on a lot of his players to measure their workload during the course of the game. And they monitor that data through practice and through the games. And their practices run not on time periods, but on snaps, on actual plays. John Abraham, one of the guys wearing the monitor, not only during practice, but in the games, as Rice can get only a yard.
Well, and then what they like to do is they go back and look at that data, and they see what kind of a workload you had on Sunday, and then they may back off a little bit during the week and give you some time to let you get your legs back. I think it's really brilliant, to be frank with you.
I think if you put a heart monitor on John Harbaugh right now, his heart's racing because they need to pick up a first down. Time's ticking away, and they need to pick up a first down.
Atlanta has won the third down battle on this side of the ball as well.
3rd and 5 for Flacco. Over the middle, first down, Bolden. To the 42-yard line, gain of 11. For more on the heart monitors with the Falcons, we check in with Alex.
Hey, Bob, so about a dozen players on the Falcons team are wearing those heart monitors, including Dante Robinson. Before the game, they put them on, and as you said, they'll be monitored throughout the game. They won't really look at the data today, but throughout the week they will. Now, not only do they kind of study a rest period and what a player might need, but they also use it to look at heart rate. Like if a guy comes in and is anxious playing a game or nervous, like you said about John Harbaugh, they will then use that information too.
1st and 10 for Flacco. Under pressure, completes it to Todd Heap to the 41.
These are the similarities. These are the similarities that you see in Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco. You saw their statistics early in the game and in the pregame shows. Now you see them both getting out of the pocket, making some plays with their legs, getting the ball down the field.
So Flacco and the Ravens on a drive from the 41 of Atlanta. Flacco overshoots Mason. Well, you know, part of the thing, Mike Smith is trying to be progressive. He said this is all new, measuring the heart rates and the workload of the players. But what we want to do is make sure that we always finish strong, because statistically 60% of the games in the NFL are decided by 8 points or less, and 30% 3 points or less. So we want to be at our best late. 16 points allowed in the fourth quarter.
That all sounds really nice, but I don't care what your heart monitor says. When it's at the end of the game and the game's on the line, you want your best players on the field regardless of how your heart's beat.
Even if they're a little tired.
You got it.
2nd and 10. Rice runs into Bierman after a gain of 2.
Troy Bierman's a guy not a lot of people know about, but he is really a good player. He is relentless, not very big, about 265 pounds, gets up the field really well. He plays the point of attack well. Athletic, does a really nice job of sinking his hips, and has good instincts.
If you're the Ravens, you have to think of this as 2-down territory. You have to consider how many yards you're going to have to go. So you have to get some positive yards to see if you can make a decision on 4th down to go for it.
3rd and 8. Rice on the check down, first down and more to the 25.
We saw Matt Ryan survey the field on that 1 down at the other end. Now you saw Joe Flacco do the same thing. Looked out to the right and then gets the ball out to the left. And there comes Anquan Bolden.
Parade Jerry.
Laying some lumber.
Now that's on a 300-pound man.
And who's standing?
He just walloped him.
8th play of the drive coming up from the Atlanta 26. Flacco, Bolden, and he picks up 9. You know, it's interesting, Matt, when we were talking with Anquan Bolden yesterday, he's such a physical player. You asked him if you weren't playing wide receiver, what would you be doing?
Yeah, he said, I'd be on defense, probably a linebacker.
And he says, don't call me a receiver. I'm a football player.
I'm a football player, and that's a big deal, okay? Because that's exactly what he is. He is a pure football player.
2nd and 1. Rice knifes through for a first down to the 11. Well, we talked about Anquan Bolden being an all-around football player. The fastest at 400 receptions, 67 games. Took Kellen Winslow 72. Fastest to 500, 80 games. Lionel Taylor took him 89. Fastest to 600, 98 games. It took Marvin Harrison 102.
And he says, I have all the stats. I want a championship. He wanted to go someplace where there was a great defense, had a running game, and a great quarterback. And that's exactly what he feels like he has in Baltimore.
4 catches for 41 yards and a touchdown tonight. McGahee on the draw. Hit by Moore. Davis was trying to rip the ball out, but it's a gain of 5 for the Ravens.
You know, I know a lot's been talked about Anquan Bolden and how he got over here. And all, you know, the Ray Lewis connection and all that. But here's the bottom line. They believe, just talking to Ozzie Newsome before the game, they said, look, this guy, he was our top guy. We wanted him because not necessarily could do with all of his skill set, but his attitude fits our team. This is a tough guy, and he is, and we wanted him on the team.
2nd and 5. Flacco rips it right. Touchdown, Derek Mason. So with 5:42 to go, the Ravens get back to within 1 possession.
Wonderful job of protection first. And then what Derek Mason does is he keeps working. He presses this far inside. Watch what's going to happen. He's going to go far inside and then come back out. Keeps working. Plants, comes back. Nice throw by Joe Flacco.
And I got to tell you, by Grimes, that is great coverage.
He's close.
For a double move like that, that's good coverage. Flacco put that thing right where it had to be.
2nd touchdown pass for Joe Flacco. Cundiff's extra point is good. So the numbers may be all in favor of the Falcons tonight, but the Ravens are within 1 possession. Flacco to Mason for the touchdown here in the 4th.
Look at Brent Grimes, number 20. He transitioned beautifully out of his break, and Mason has position with his body, but Flacco puts the ball the only place it can be, that's outside, away from the defender, and Mason comes down with a catch and comes down holding his hand.
14th year pro out of Michigan State with his 3rd touchdown catch of the season. Joe Flacco, 2 career wins after trailing by 13 or more. Did it in 08 and then had that great comeback against Buffalo in Baltimore a couple of weeks ago. Cundiff on the kick. Weems will take another knee. So Derek Mason gets Baltimore to within 6 with 5:42 to go in the ball game, and now some pressure on Matt Ryan and the Falcons offense to play keep away up by 6. Sunday catch NFL Game Day Final. Get the last word on the day's action. See 21st and Prime, where Deion Sanders counts down his top 10 plays of the week. NFL Game Day Final Sunday midnight Eastern on NFL Network. A must-watch for the NFL fan. You get the most in-depth highlights on a Sunday night. Get caught up on everything in the NFL. Roddy White in motion on a 1st and 10. Ryan under pressure with Suggs closing in. Pass intended for Roddy White.
Oh, Suggs turned it up a little bit, didn't he?
Boy, he has. Ever since he got that penalty down there, he's on fire.
You know,
coming hard off the outside, goes right around. The play action is supposed to take care of him. Yeah, I've heard that supposed to stuff before. It doesn't always work that way.
He's got good instincts, and he's been around the game a long time. He knows when they're trying to okey doke him.
Gonzalez in motion. Ryan to throw again. Ryan, White, first down. Carr on the tackle. Gain of 16.
You know, we spoke with Roddy White just yesterday, and when we were talking to him, we talked about who are the guys that you like to look at and why. And, you know, one of the first guys he mentioned was Anquan Bolden. And he mentioned Bolden because he said he's precise in his routes, and he's a strong guy, and he's got to be right. And he says he patterns himself after that type of receiver.
Joe Horn had a big influence on him when he played with him in 07. He really took him under his wing and taught him how to be a professional also.
Expect the Falcons to try to run a little clock here after trying 2 straight pass plays. Michael Turner on the call. Turner gets 3 on the play as the clock moves to 4:43 and counting.
Baltimore with all its timeouts. If you keep an eye on the play clock, which is at 30 right now, you'll see the Atlanta Falcons in all likelihood snap this ball somewhere in the 5-second range, taking as much time off the clock as they possibly can.
And remember, this is a 1-score game right now. So they have to use the clock, and they have to convert here on to try to, you know, pick up the first down.
We saw the Falcons try to put it up in the air the first 2 plays of the drive, including the 16-yarder to White. Snelling to the 42, gain of 3.
Snelling missed a great opportunity there with his vision. If he'd have been able to break it to his right, to the outside, he had some area to run.
Here we go to another one of those crucial third downs where the Falcons have been so efficient all night.
Yeah, but in this range, they haven't been that efficient. Between 2 and 4 yards, they're only 1 for 3. Owner Arthur Blank watching anxiously.
This is a big down right here. Big down for Baltimore, yeah, exactly, and for Atlanta.
White in motion.
Got him.
Pressure. White dropped it. He had the first down and he dropped it with 3:19 to go.
All right, that's a huge drop for the Falcons.
Clock stops. You don't need to use a timeout. You'll have the 2-minute. Ball's thrown a little bit far outside, but this is still a catch. Oh,
it's in his hands.
That should be an easy catch.
Yeah, he just ran. They just tried to stack behind Gonzalez. They got what they wanted. And he dropped it.
Ed Reed, who has a punt return for a touchdown in his career, waits back at about the 11. Great high spiraling punt by Kanan. Flag on the play. Mead from the 5. Hit by Weems, then knocked down at the 10-yard line. Antone Smith on the tackle will check the flag with 3:06 to go. 53-yard punt.
That was a bomb
by Michael Kanan.
I don't think Ed should have fielded it. As a former punt returner, I used to use
illegal procedure. Player number 14 went out of bounds on his own, came back into the field of play. That 5-yard penalty was assessed at the previous spot. Repeat 4th down.
It'll make him kick it over. But
that's huge because Baltimore was scheduled to start at their own 10. Now your guys got to go and run downfield again. And a lot of times you'll see a team get a good return off this as the Gunners now have to go down and beat it. The problem was that Weems went out of bounds, came back in, and he's the first guy that hit Ed Reed.
But he went out of bounds on his own.
On his own.
He didn't get forced out. When you're forced out, you have to try and get back in as quickly as possible. See, he just runs out of bounds. Nobody forced him out.
Now, I know this is going to come as a surprise to you, but we used to have a rule back in the old days. Any player that came to the sideline, he was mysteriously swallowed and never seen from again.
He just disappeared over those other people.
Well, we'll see how big a penalty this is. Remember, Ed Reed was tackled at the 10. Kanan with a good...
So at the field, he's now in rhythm right now. Flacco's in rhythm, so we're going to watch a lot of underneath stuff. Let's see if heat becomes a big deal.
Flacco out of the gun. Flacco looking for Houshmandzadeh on the post, incomplete. Joe, 2:52 to go. Baltimore with 3 timeouts. Isn't the draw and the run to Rice still an option with everybody protecting the pass?
I think it is, because what you're going to get is the guys have been coming up front. Babineau, Abraham, Bierman, they've all been flying up the ball. If you catch them in one of those TEs, those tackle-in games that they run, you could split it and wind up with 15, 20 yards before the defenders get to them.
I'm surprised they tried to push it there on first down that deep. I'd use the middle of the field right now with heat and check things down.
They'll throw it on second down. Flacco in trouble. Has Mason at midfield. Great awareness by Flacco to find Mason. It's a gain of 22.
Nice job once again of Derek Mason, keeping himself available and in Joe Flacco's vision.
To me, this is all on Flacco. Now, he feels it. It looks like he's almost going to get happy feet right here, but then he gathers himself, eyes down the field, and that's when Mason is able to come clean.
And also, the Falcons only rushed 3, Matt. So now you got a chance to find some holes.
Atlanta trying to protect a 6-point lead, 2:43 to go. Pass deflected and incomplete, intended for TJ Houshmandzadeh. I think John Abraham got his hand up and tipped it.
He's played himself a good game here tonight as well. He's put pressure on all night. He's jumped inside. He's taken things in a short route the whole time, and here you get his hands up and knocks that thing down.
Hey, Matt, right, as a defender, if you can't get there, get your hands up, right?
Absolutely. Now, this guy's been doing it for a long time. Now the crowd knows it's a big time, too.
Ray Lewis told us, I have all the confidence in the world in my young quarterback.
Find Todd Heap.
Second and 10. Ray Rice, middle of the field, picks up 6 to the 44-yard line.
Ray Rice and Todd Heap run exactly the same routes out of the backfield. They run little hook delays about 6 yards down the field.
Last loss after leading by 13 or more in the fourth quarter, 1989 at Green Bay. Deion Sanders, who was honored at halftime, was on the Falcons that day. Working our way to the 2-minute warning, and they will not get the play off. A huge 3rd and 4 coming up for Joe Flacco and the Baltimore Ravens. Matt Ryan been involved in a physical contest with Ray Lewis. Ravens need a touchdown to win it. At the Atlanta 44.
4 down territory. They're going man.
Flacco. Bolden, first down, flag on the play.
One of the things that Joe Flacco said is you can throw to a covered Anquan Bolden. He's the only guy in that receiving corps that you believe that you can be able to throw the football to when he's covered.
Holding. Defense number 20. That penalty's declined. Result of the play is a first down.
When your quarterback has confidence in a receiver, the windows shrink because they believe he's going to come down with the ball. And you saw it right there. I mean, he was completely covered. There was a penalty, and it was a good call. But he still trusted that Bolden's coming down with him.
6 career game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime, 3 this season. 1st and 10. Screen for Ray Rice, gets a block. Rice to the outside, around Moore, and knocked down at the 11-yard line.
What
gain of 24.
Great call by Cam Cameron, the offensive coordinator. Just perfectly called. Used the defense against him, knew he was going to get a rush, dumped it down underneath the Ray.
3 offensive linemen out in front of him clean. One of them got the block. Ray Rice did the rest. He was in such a hurry, Matt, to get up the field. He got up top of 2 of his offensive linemen.
From the 11, Ray Rice picks up about 3 on the play.
All right, so now you're Atlanta. You got 2 timeouts. Baltimore is 3. You got a $1.10.
Mike Smith's just used one of his last 2.
The other part of this is, you know, if they're This happened with Mike Holmgren one time. Let them score fast. You can get the ball back and give yourself a chance. I don't believe in that, incidentally.
All right, let's send it over to Rich Eisen. Rich?
Well, Bob, I'm walking and talking to let you know what's coming up on the post-game show presented by Kay Jewelers. Full highlights of this game and getting you set for the rest of Week 10. That's clearly getting off to a nice start. We'll also have a live guest on the set, but that's still up for grabs depending on who's going to win this game.
All right, Rich, and your NFL weekend starts right here on NFL Network. John Harbaugh's team is hung in there, down by 6, 1:10 to go.
They've been going, the Falcons have been going man to man. Last time down, they got the ball to Derek Mason. You know you're gonna double Anquan Boldin. The best way to give him an opportunity to make a play is put him in the slot. Now they have him up top next to Todd Heap, giving Joe Flacco a couple of options.
2nd and 8 from the 9. Rice motions. Flacco, end zone, Todd Heap, touchdown.
We knew he was going to get to him eventually, but here's the thing. They may have scored a little too fast. Let's see. They got over a minute to go with a timeout.
I don't agree with that. I don't think there's ever scoring too fast. You've got to put it on your defense. If that's who you are.
That's what they're doing.
If you're the Ravens and that's who you are, put them out on the field.
Now, it's a tie ball game. Billy Cundiff, perfect this season on extra points. And now since we're under 2 minutes, this is going to be reviewed.
To see if he had control.
Have control in the end zone on the catch. You saw the ball come off his hip at the end of that last replay. This is a booth review. We're inside of 2 minutes. We'll be back with the replay challenge. Are we tied or not? Todd Heap's touchdown under review. Ron Winter with the call. Booth review.
It's a touchdown.
Ron, you can go.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver with the ball in his possession has 2 feet down, takes 2 steps, and the ball is then dislodged by a defensive player. The receiver was in a standing position throughout the process of completing the catch. Therefore, it is a touchdown.
Good call as Todd Heap had it knocked away by William Moore, but he secures the football long enough for the touchdown.
That's one heck of an explanation.
That was a good explanation.
It really was.
Well, we told you that Ray Lewis believes in Joe Flacco, and he tells him right there. Now, this extra point gives Baltimore their first lead of the night with 1:05 to go. Cundiff to kick it, Cook to hold. Snap is good, and Baltimore with their first lead of the night, 1:05 remaining.
Still a lot of time. A lot of time for a hot Matt Ryan and an offensive line that's protected him. And now, if you're a great defense, and you say you are and you believe you are, now is the time to prove it.
This is what I would do if I was the Ravens defensively. What I would do is I would take Roddy White away. Greg Mattson, their defensive coordinator, has to be thinking they have tried to get to Roddy White on 3rd downs. They've got to him on a couple of them, quite a few as a matter of fact. I'm going to take him out of the game. Tony Gonzalez is not going to beat me going down the field. I know they're going to try and get in field goal range. Make him go to Michael Jenkins. Make him go to Harry Douglas. Make him go to Brian Finneran. Don't give him the chance to get to Roddy White.
Well, coming up after the game, the Kay Jewelers postgame show with Rich, Dion, Marshall, and Mooch. Full highlights, a live guest from the winning side, and a preview of Sunday's action in Week 10 in the National Football League. And what a start we've had here tonight in Atlanta in a matchup of a pair of 6-2 teams. Matt Ryan, 29 of 43, 244 yards, but he's watched the Baltimore Ravens storm back from a 13-point deficit. Roddy White had a ball in his hands on a 3rd down that would have given Atlanta a 1st down and a fresh set of downs and the ability to kill more clock. Couldn't hold on. Baltimore made him pay, Matt.
That was a big one right there. I mean, they ran the perfect route. The ball was perfectly thrown. And the sure-handed White dropped it.
Cundiff does what he's been doing all night, sending the kick about 8 yards deep for a touchdown.
What a great weapon he is when you're in a game like this. Make somebody go 80 yards. We saw the Ravens get a jump start because they had a great return in the beginning of the second half.
Matt Ryan, 4 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime this season, 10 for his career. He had one here in the Georgia Dome against San Francisco.
He's got to go about 45 yards to give them a chance to win the game.
Really plenty of time.
1 timeout remaining for Ryan and the Falcons. Under pressure from Suggs. And the pass incomplete.
Boy, he's turned it up, hasn't he? Terrell Suggs, the last quarter and a half, he has turned up the heat.
And the Ravens just rushed 3.
Right. Yeah, he's coming hard.
That was 3 against 6, and the Ravens rushed. Now they put Haloti Ngata right in the middle. Haloti Ngata.
Yeah, and
hello, Joe.
I'm fine, thank you very
so
much.
he's going to get a big push in the center.
Right on Todd McClure.
Yeah, and because that's a tough order right there. So that's going to draw the block inside of one of your guards, which allows Suggs on the outside to get up the field.
2nd and 10. Ryan through the hands of Douglas at the 32.
And this follows what we said earlier, okay? Make him throw it to Douglas.
Right.
Make him throw it to Jenkins. Take the others away.
Just take Roddy White away. No, Harry.
It's not like he wasn't open.
Well, Harry Douglas they've tried to get the ball to him 3 different times tonight. 2 of them looks like he broke the routes. This one here, you have to make that catch.
Oh, it's wide open.
Hey, you have to make this. That time, they triple teamed Haloti Ngata in the middle.
And you get a wide receiver isolated on Tavares Good, the linebacker. You got to win that matchup.
Absolutely.
3rd and 10 for Ryan. Deep out, Jenkins. Did he get the feed in at the 44? Officials say yes.
He controlled the ball all the way through. Nice catch.
Clock stops with 50 seconds to go.
That's a heck of a throw.
Again, no Roddy White though.
Yeah, well, they'll take this catch. Here it is.
And they may review this too.
By the hand. No, he's got control.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think it's going to go to a booth review.
That ball was in his hands, and then you saw it move a little off the fingertips, and I don't know if he had both feet in. Regrips it.
That looks pretty good.
This is one that could go either way.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
Ball hits the fingertips. Does he re-grip right there?
Well, he's going to try to pull the thing in.
But he never does.
No, but I mean, watch his fingers. He's going to hold it in his fingers. He's caught it with his fingers. And he controls it with his fingers. He's going to try to bring it into his body.
But see if the ball was moving. I would say that is not a catch. Once they look at it, they're going to see the ball moving in his hands, and they're going to determine it is not a catch.
Let's see right here. He's got it in his fingertips.
Go ahead. And he keeps control
Drags
with his
the right foot. Yeah, he controls it with his fingertips. And look, he keeps it in his fingertips through the end of the catch.
I know. I'm looking at this. I'm just telling you, it looks like it's moving.
He definitely dragged the right foot.
No
the left
question.
foot was in.
The feet are down. There's no question. It's does he have control of the ball all the way through the catch?
And I think that's fingertip control.
I think it's, the left hand never comes off the ball, Joe.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Lost and all that. That's a heck of a throw.
Oh, it's a great throw.
It's a great throw.
Looks
John
like
Harbaugh
it's moving,
saying
though.
no good.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a catch. Player had the ball in his possession and 2 feet inbound.
I could see
first down.
why John Harbaugh would say that wasn't a catch. Ray Lewis can't believe it, but Ray, he doesn't really bobble it.
No,
it just spins in his. However they determine it. Like I said, it could have gone either way.
That was truly a fingertip catch.
That's what.
Throughout the course of the catch.
And fingertip control. That's a good call by the official.
So with 50 seconds to go, as Ryan takes the snap, timeout Ravens. They'll use the first of their 3.
Baltimore.
About 25 yards away from field goal range, or 20 yards away from a 55-yarder.
If I'm looking for anybody here, I'm looking for Tony Gonzalez.
We'll be back. Falcons down by 1, 50 seconds left. Matt Bryant has had a couple of game-winning field goals this season. He's hit a 51-yarder tonight. 1st and 10, Atlanta. Ryan, middle of the field, first down to the 41. Roddy White on the catch.
Clock it right here. Clock it and stop it.
Just take your time. No problem.
Ryan will clock it with 35 seconds.
Another 10 yards, and you can kick it with Bryant.
Roddy White comes inside a little bit. You can't give him the room. He shows his strength. Josh Wilson trying to cover him. It's not fair.
And because Atlanta has that one timeout in their pocket, they can still use the middle of the field.
Middle of the field is big. Watch Nada in the middle over McClure.
Blitz. They pick it up. Roddy White had it, lost it, incomplete.
Second drop of the night. But they did. They came with that inside A-gap blitz.
And Matt Ryan read it perfectly. Put the ball absolutely on the money. Roddy White turns his head at the last second. And it gets away from him.
Remember, White had the big drop on the last possession for Atlanta.
On 3rd down.
On 3rd down. So it's 3rd and 10 at the 41. Ravens show blitz. Pass intended for Gonzalez. Flag on Tavares Gooden.
Great job by Matt Ryan. Feeling the pressure off the left side. They brought numbers to his left. Kept his eyes down the field, stepped up, and bam, that ball was right out. Gonzalez would have had a chance to make a play.
Interference. Defense number 52. Penalized at the spot of the foul and a 1st down.
Here's the numbers to the left. You keep in 3, we bring 4. Ryan steps up, delivers the ball.
Tony Gonzalez, if you could see the subtleness of what he did, just slowed down enough so that Gooden could climb his back before he made a leap at the ball.
Blitz again. 1st and 10. Ryan. Roddy White. He'll walk in. Touchdown Falcons.
What a fantastic job by Matt Ryan of seeing the blitz and then buying time by rolling to his left, and that gives him the time to find him down the field for 6.
What a great call by Mike Mularkey, their offensive coordinator, to get him away from the pressure. He's moving right now. It's a sprint.
That is a great call.
Great call by the coach. Terrific throw, and they're trying to cover Roddy White when they're bringing pressure with Josh Wilson. Josh Wilson is 5 feet 9 inches tall.
He wanted a flag. He went barking at the officials saying he knocked me down.
We pushed him the last time he caught the pass. He wasn't going to get it that time, and he wasn't going to get it this time.
Well, the heart meters are pumping on the Atlanta Falcons as they go 80 yards against Ray Lewis's Baltimore Ravens defense to take the lead back with 20 seconds to go. Now Ryan and the Falcons will go for 2 to try to make this a 7-point game. Right now the margin is 5 with 20 seconds. They're 1 for 1 this year on 2-point conversions. Atlanta is. A pass to Roddy White converted earlier this season.
I would think a pass to Roddy White would be a good thing to do at this point.
White to the top of your screen. Snelling intercepted by Ed Reed. It's just a dead ball. And the professional game that is just an attempt failed on the 2-point conversion. So with 20 seconds to go, Atlanta goes 80 yards on 7 plays in 40 seconds.
Now this is something to think about.
This is something else to think about, Joe. 2 blown leads this year by the Ravens defense, 3 last year. That's 5 blown leads. Tonight could be 6 in the span of 25 games.
Yeah, but that took an entire season last year. You're only halfway through right now. The thing that's important on this kickoff, if you're the Ravens, you have to get to the sidelines, and you can't try and make a big play.
Well, let's take you through the 45-second drive. Matt Ryan with a huge completion to Michael Jenkins that was reviewed, call upheld. Roddy White with a first down catch. Then with the boot, Roddy White open, touchdown Atlanta, as Ryan throws his 3rd touchdown pass of the night. In 45 seconds, the Falcons have the lead again.
I go back to my conversation yesterday with Mike Mularkey, the offensive coordinator. He said that when they were losing to San Francisco by 14, he asked his team on Monday, did anybody in this room believe that we were going to lose? Nobody raised their hand. It's the same situation here. The Atlanta Falcons just believe that they cannot be beat no matter what the circumstances are in this dome.
Matt, do you kick it away here with Canaan, or do you squib it?
No, you kick it. Kick it away.
Last year, Canaan had 28 touchbacks. Came into the game tonight with 11, and he sends a rocket to David Reed, who's going to run it out. Reed cut down at the 10-yard line. Eric Weems.
That was a mistake. Not only did you not get out to the 20, but you took off 4 precious seconds.
How about Weems, the return man and backup wide receiver, laying out David Reed?
Now, I don't blame Reed on that one. I blame the up man.
Protector,
because he
right?
should have put him in there and not let him out.
John Harbaugh's team normally excellent in special teams. Matt, how do you defend this if you're the Falcons?
Well, you can give everything up underneath.
Just get the guy to the ground.
You can't. Now you can see. Look how they're lined up. See, they're 3 deep. You can't even see them on the screen.
Flacco, middle of the field.
That's fine.
The catch. And he took a shot in the back and slow to get up. Lofton on the hit, gain of 18. That'll 9 seconds.
That'll cost them a timeout right there because they're not getting up.
Being a defensive guy, you'd say that's fine. But if you're a wide receiver going up and exposing yourself, you throw it like high in the middle, you get them killed.
Oh, no, I'm not debating that.
I know that.
It's fine that they can throw it underneath. That's fine. You'll give that up. 9 seconds
they'll
left.
They'll give up 2 more.
Well, we're going to take you back to the Roddy White touchdown. Josh Wilson wanted a flag. Matt, you make the call.
This is what they're going to be talking about tomorrow all day long. Right there. Is there a push-off? You
Absolutely.
see Roddy White with his right hand. It wasn't called. Wilson goes down. He pleads his case.
How could you miss that? Mr. Side Judge, please. Sorry, touchdown.
Yep. He had a case to be made there, too.
You have to try and get something to the sidelines.
Flacco.
Can't extend
Chased
the
by
play.
Abraham, and he sacks him.
Call a timeout. You got one.
Loss of 13.
Yeah, you cannot extend the play as a quarterback. You have to have a clock in your head. Get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball. Live for another down.
You don't even need a clock in your head in this situation, Matt.
Exactly.
All you need to do is figure out, I've got 10 seconds. I've got to take a shot, get it out of my hands as quickly as possible.
How do you think that heart monitor was racing there for Abraham?
How do you think Mike Smith is doing?
The Falcons have dropped Brian Finneran all the way back at the 30-yard line, right there. One of the backup wide receivers. He's 6'5", 213 pounds, and he can jump.
And they put Curtis Lofton in the middle. They had everybody back about. They got 4 deep at about
45 yards.
45 yards.
And Abraham with 2 sacks tonight. He played a great job against the run. He and Babineau.
He gets a game ball.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that entire front was impressive tonight. They got pressure when they had to. They rushed with 4 and got there. and they handled the running game. And remember, Joe, at the start of this game, Ray Rice was running pretty well, and then all of a sudden he dried up.
They talked about the fourth quarter. When we sat and visited with Mike Smith yesterday, a lot of the conversation had to do with how we play in the fourth quarter. That's why they'll rotate 7 guys through on the line.
And Matt, you asked the question at the start of the last drive. This is where you find out if you have a championship defense. The Ravens gave up 80 and a touchdown.
And the flip side to that, this is where you found out that you got a pretty good offense.
And a heck of a young quarterback.
Bingo.
Matt Ryan with 50 attempts, 32 of 50 for 316 and 3 touchdowns. Now a flag in the play.
Offense has 12 men on the field. Broke the huddle with 12. That's a 5-yard penalty.
That's a runoff.
There was not 12 men in the huddle.
Clock was not running, so it's not a runoff. That's correct.
Clock was not running. The clock had been stopped because Baltimore used their last timeout. It's only if the clock is running is there a runoff if there's a penalty on the offensive team who's trailing with the ball. The reason why it's not a runoff is because Baltimore had called a timeout after the Flacco sack.
Matt Ryan ran the offense to perfection today.
2 seconds remaining.
This may have been the best game Matt Ryan's played since he's been in the pros.
Flacco. Bushmanzada gets hit by Dante Stallworth, and Babineau just batted it out of bounds, and that's it.
Can't end on the flag. There's a flag on the field.
Unless it's against the offense.
Now let's see. Is it an illegal bat of the ball by Babineau?
There is no foul,
No foul.
for an illegal bat. The defensive player batted the ball backwards. That's the end of the game.
Did not bat it forward. He batted it backwards. That is it. Matt Ryan engineers an 80-yard drive in 45 seconds and hits Roddy White as he and Joe Flacco exchange pleasantries. The both third-year quarterbacks. Tonight, Ryan was better. 26-21, the final score. The Atlanta Falcons improved to 7-2 as they hand the Ravens their 3rd loss of the season.